Alright, Brush Monkeys, we are back, and this week we are painting this Zombie Knight from Citadel Miniatures. This is an old school, like 1980 something Citadel miniature that I got way back in the day. That may not even be the original shield that came with him, but that explains why he's on the square base. He's old school. So we're going to be painting him up. This is one of those videos that's going to be like trust the process until it's done, because he's not going to look right. He's going to look a little bright until we get to the end where we apply the all-over wash of secret weapon sewer water, which is really gross, kind of greenish brown kind of wash that's going to make him look old and decayed and like he just dug himself up out of the ground. It's going to be really gross. But until then, he's going to have some fairly bright colors, like between the undead skin and the mantle is going to be this sample that I got from Reaper of like sea green kind of picture, and then his tunic is going to be this draw nipple pink color, which is kind of a like medium purple. But yeah, so he's going to be a fun one to paint. So let's go ahead and get started on him, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Alright, so it's a little hard to see. I'm going to take the main light off of it there. But that's the skin tone done. It's just undead flesh. Like I said, everything is going to get an all-over sewer water wash at the end. So there's not going to be any shade washing and highlighting and stuff like that until then. We're just going to paint the guy in the base tones, then give him the all-over sewer water wash, and that's going to look good. This is definitely one of those trust the process kind of things. So up next, his eyes are going to be ivory. His hair is going to be dark gray. So I'll probably do both of those and then come back and take a look at him. So I'll see you soon. Bye. Alright, so there's his eyes, teeth, and hair done. And he's looking pretty gross. So I'm going to do his mantle next, and probably his tunic, and then we'll get into his armor, weapon, and shield. So yeah, this seems kind of weird to say, okay, that's done, and then, you know, it's not shade washed or highlighted or anything like that. We'll get to all that. Like I said, trust the process. Trust the process is going to be the mantra of this video, and it's going to show how bad something can look until all of a sudden it looks great. Okay? So do the mantle next, and then we'll come back and take a look at him. See ya. Alright, so there's our guy with most of his clothes done. And I realized as I was painting him that this little spot on the back of his leg was actually, the legging was torn open, and so that's all exposed skin, so I painted that as skin. And then the rest of it was what remains of his pants, I guess. Doesn't have a whole lot there. Yeah, he's looking pretty good so far. So up next I'm going to do his armor, his little breastplate here, the rim of his shield, and his sword blade. Are all going to be done with blackened steel, a little bit of typhus corrosion, and some rise of rust. Dry brush on there. And then the hilt and pommel of his sword are going to be done with tainted gold, which is this kind of rotten, kind of greenish gold. I think that's going to look really fantastic. So I'm going to go do all that, and then we'll come back and take another look at them. Okay. See you soon. Bye. Alright, so there's the medals painted and typhus corrosioned up. Pretty happy with how that sword came out, looking like pitted and muddy. So next up, we're going to dry brush it with the rise of rust. That's going to bring out that texture of the typhus corrosion and really make that look good and rusty and nasty. And I think it's going to look really, really fantastic. I'm going to let the breastplate dry a little bit more. Some of the typhus corrosion is still wet on the breastplate. You can see there, but yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along pretty nicely. So, see you in a bit. Alright, there is the metals all rusted. And they look really fantastic, look really old and rusty. That hilt and pommel of the sword look really good in that tainted gold. Still looks like gold, but it looks like gold that's been, left to rot for a while. So I'm really liking it. So up next we're going to do the shield back in dark wood and do the shield face in matte black. And then we'll go over the bones and whatnot with wraith bone and pallid bone. So off to do that. See you soon. Alright, so I've got the back of his shield done and the face of his shield done. I haven't done the pallid bone on his on the skeleton there yet because that's still wet. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and do his leathers, which are his shoes there, this belt around the back of his breastplate, and there's a couple of straps on his shield that are going to be done. And those are all going to be AP hardened leather, so they're going to be kind of a reddish brown color, which I think will go well with the rest of this guy. And then we'll come back and do the pallid bone on the skeleton. And so yeah, he's coming along. Like how he's looking so far. See you soon. Bye. Alright, the leathers are done. I dry brushed the back of the shield with a little bit of sylvaneth bark. Bring that out, and I washed the bones in pallid bone. So now there's only the base left to do. We're going to do that in Gravelord Gray and give it a Dawnstone dry brush, and then we're going to give it the all over wash. It's going to bring everything out and really make it look fantastic. All right. Actually, I think we're going to do the Gravelord Gray and then we're going to do the wash. Then I'll do the Dawnstone dry after. So yeah, gonna go ahead and go do that. Then we'll come back and take one last look at him before I give him the all over wash of the sewer water that really pulls all this together and makes him look really good and undead. I think you're gonna like how this turns out. See you soon. Bye. Alright, so the Gravelord Gray is primarily dry. It's still a little bit shiny in places, but that's just the nature of it. It tends to be a little shiny in some places. But now I want to give you one last look at this guy before I do the all-over wash. It's going to tie everything in together. This Secret Weapon sewer water wash. Secret Weapon is a company that has since gone out of business, and I'm really kind of sad about that because they made some of the best washes ever. So if you find a store that still has some of them in stock, buy up all you can because they are well worth it. And this one in particular is a great one for if you paint a lot of Nurgle characters from Warhammer and things like that. This is a great one. It's kind of like Agrax Earthshade with a little bit of Athonian Camo Shade put in, if you're familiar with the Citadel washes. But it's kind of a greenish brown color. It looks mostly brown in the bottle, but it's got a little bit of green, a little bit of red to it, so it's really gross. Anyway, you're going to see what a huge difference this makes on this figure in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and go wash him, and then we'll come back and see how he looks. All right? See you soon. Bye. And there you go. That's what he looks like afterwards. Doesn't that look disgusting? Like he just crawled up out of some muck and slime and looks all dirty and gross. Now that'll dry without the shine on it, so that'll help a little bit. And then we'll go through and pick out a few things, like that one big eye. We'll go ahead and highlight that, and maybe dry brush the ground with the Dawnstone. Maybe dry brush a little bit of his hair with the Dawnstone too. But yeah, I really like the effect that has on it. Look how it gets in between all the fingers and just really makes it look gross and rotted and decayed. I love the effect that has on it. So yeah, I'm going to let that dry, and then we'll come back and, like I said, probably touch up that eye a little bit, paint the base band, just finish him off. So next time you see this guy, he'll be completely done. Right. See you soon. Bye. Alright, and there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, our finished Citadel Zombie Knight. I think he came out looking really good. After the wash dried, I gave him an all over light dry brush of Dawn Stone, just to kind of pick out all the little things like the fabric in his tunic and the, the folds in his tunic and the folds in his mantle, things like that. The texture on the ground, that kind of thing. And highlighted his eye so that sticks out, and it's pretty gross and bug-eyed out there. So I really like how he turned out. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom here. If you like what you see, click like down below, and if you want to be notified when new videos get posted, click subscribe. And in the meantime, if you want to support us in any way, check me out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. We're on all those platforms. If you see a miniature on the site that you want to make one of your own, hit me up on Instagram. I can quote you a price for that. And if you want any Flying Monkey Studios merchandise, like t-shirts, things like that, hit me up on storefrontier.com/flyingmonkeystudios and get all your merch there. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.